Hello and welcome to VeteranFocus. Today we will thoroughly cover everything you need to know about tinnitus and the claims process. Claiming tinnitus. VA Service-Connected Disability Claims. Submit your VA Form 21526EZ now. Do not wait until you get everything figured out. Why? Because your monetary compensation, once an entitlement is awarded, will start as of your application date. Contact your county veteran service provider as soon as possible. Why? Because they are your professional advocate. They work for your county to provide service to you, the veteran. This is their job. Most of them are very good at guiding veterans through the VA claims process. Some of them suck. You decide which your county has. Contents. This video has 3 major talking points separated by 3 chapters. Chapter 1 talks about what tinnitus is. Chapter 2 talks about supporting your claim, nexus. Chapter 3 talks about the compensation and pension exam. Chapter 1. Tinnitus is the perception of noise or ringing in the ears. Here's a detailed look at what tinnitus entails. Definition. Tinnitus is not a disease but a symptom that can result from a wide range of underlying causes or conditions. It's commonly described as a ringing noise, but it can also manifest as buzzing, hissing, whistling, swooshing, or clicking. Types of tinnitus: subjective tinnitus. This is the most common form where only the person experiencing it can hear the noise. It's usually caused by exposure to loud noise, age-related hearing loss, or ear injury. Objective tinnitus. This is rarer, where the noise can sometimes be heard by a clinician during an examination. It's caused by muscle contractions or vascular issues. Causes: exposure to loud noise. Prolonged exposure to loud sounds can damage the hair cells in the cochlea, leading to tinnitus. Age-related hearing loss. As people age, hearing loss can occur, often accompanied by tinnitus. Ear injury or blockages. Ear injury or the presence of an earwax blockage can cause tinnitus. Cardiovascular diseases. Conditions like hypertension or changes in blood flow can cause pulsatile tinnitus, where the rhythm matches the heartbeat. Medications. Certain medications, particularly ototoxic drugs, can cause or worsen tinnitus. Meniere's disease. This involves a buildup of fluid and changing pressure in the ear, which can lead to tinnitus among other symptoms like vertigo and hearing loss. Impact. Tinnitus can range from mildly annoying to severely debilitating. For some, it's a constant presence that can interfere with concentration, sleep, and overall quality of life, leading to psychological distress, including anxiety and depression. Diagnosis. There's no specific test for tinnitus. Diagnosis involves a medical history review, physical examination, and often a hearing test, audiogram, to check for hearing loss. Treatment. Since tinnitus is a symptom, treatment focuses on managing the underlying cause when possible. Hearing aids. For those with hearing loss, hearing aids can amplify external sounds, making the internal noise less noticeable. Sound therapy. Using external noise to mask or distract from the tinnitus sound, like white noise machines, fans, or specific tinnitus maskers. Behavioral therapy. Techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help change the emotional response to tinnitus, reducing the distress it causes. Medication. While there's no cure, medications might help manage associated symptoms like anxiety or depression. Tinnitus retraining therapy, TRT, a habituation therapy that aims to reduce the perception of tinnitus over time. Prevention. Protecting your hearing by avoiding loud noises, using ear protection, and managing cardiovascular health can help prevent tinnitus or reduce its severity. Tinnitus is a complex condition with varied experiences among individuals. While there's no universal cure, understanding its nature and employing various management strategies can significantly improve the quality of life for those affected. Chapter 2. Statement in support of claim. VA Form 4138. Continuous ringing in ear. Does not come and go, it is always there. What was your job or MOS? When did it start? Must have started while on active duty. Must provide a nexus. The nexus, in the context of a service-connected disability claim, refers to the medical opinion or evidence that directly links a veteran's current disability to an event, injury, or illness that occurred during their military service. Here's a deeper dive into what this entails. Definition. The term nexus essentially means a connection or link. In veterans' disability claims, it's crucial because it establishes that a veteran's current health condition is related to their time in service, which is fundamental for receiving disability benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA. Purpose of a nexus letter. A nexus letter is often provided by a medical professional and is designed to prove this connection. This letter typically includes a clear statement from the doctor that the condition is at least as likely as not due to military service. This phrasing is significant because it aligns with the VA's standard for proving service connection, where if there's reasonable doubt, it should be resolved in favor of the veteran. Details of how the service event or exposure could logically lead to the current disability, often supported by medical literature or studies. Confirmation that the doctor has reviewed the veteran's service records and medical history. Importance in claims. Without a nexus, or if the nexus provided isn't convincing, the VA might deny a claim due to insufficient evidence linking the disability to service. Here's why it's crucial. Direct service connection. If a condition was diagnosed while in service or within a presumptive period after, a nexus might not be strictly necessary, but it can still be beneficial. Secondary service connection. For disabilities that are a result of another service-connected condition, a nexus letter explains this secondary relationship. Aggravation. If a pre-existing condition was worsened by military service, a nexus would detail how service aggravated the condition. Content of a nexus letter. Effective nexus letters usually include the doctor's credentials and confirmation they've reviewed relevant records. A detailed description of the veteran's current condition. How this condition could be related to military service, often referencing specific incidents or exposures. Use of phrases like more likely than not or at least as likely as not to meet the VA's evidentiary standard. Challenges and considerations. Medical opinion. The credibility of the medical professional writing. The nexus can influence its weight. Doctors familiar with VA claims or with expertise in the specific condition might be more effective. Cost and access. Getting a well-crafted nexus letter can be costly, which might be a barrier for some veterans. Public sentiment and discussion. From platforms like X, there's a mix of frustration with the claims process, stories of misdiagnoses or misrepresentations in assessments, and advocacy for better support for veterans with disabilities, highlighting the real-world impact and necessity of clear, strong nexus evidence. In summary, the nexus in a service-connected disability claim is the medical link proving that a veteran's disability is due to their military service, often encapsulated in a nexus letter. This document can be pivotal in the success of a VA disability claim, ensuring veterans receive the benefits they might be entitled to based on their service-related health issues. Chapter 3. C&P Exam. A compensation and pension C&P exam with the VA is a medical evaluation specifically designed to assess disabilities for veterans applying for or already receiving disability benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA. Here's what you need to know about this exam. Purpose. The primary goal of a C&P exam is to determine if a veteran's disability is connected to their military service. The severity of the disability to assign an appropriate disability rating, which impacts the level of compensation. Process. Scheduling. After filing a claim or when needing to reassess a condition, the VA might schedule a C&P exam. This could be at a VA facility or with a VA contracted provider. Examination. The exam might cover physical, psychological, or both types of disabilities. The examiner will review medical records, conduct tests, and discuss the veteran's symptoms and how they impact daily life. Documentation. The examiner documents findings in a report, which is crucial for the VA's decision-making process. What to expect? Preparation. Veterans are advised to bring any relevant medical records, though the VA should have access to these. However, having personal copies can be beneficial. During the exam, it's important to be honest about symptoms and their impact. Veterans should discuss how their conditions affect their daily activities, work, and social life. This helps in establishing the severity and service connection. Post-exam. After the exam, the VA reviews the report along with other evidence to make a decision on the claim or review. Significance. Service connection. Establishing that a disability is related to military service is key. This might involve discussing specific incidents or conditions during service that could have led to the current disability. Rating. The exam helps in rating the disability from 0% to 100%, which determines the monthly compensation amount. Tips for veterans. Be detailed. Describe symptoms fully, including bad days, not just how you feel at the moment of the exam. Documentation. If possible, having a nexus letter from a healthcare provider linking your condition to service can be beneficial. Understand your condition. Knowing the medical criteria for your disability under VA's rating system can help in explaining your condition accurately. Public sentiment and advice from X. From discussions on platforms like X, veterans often share tips like being as detailed as possible during the exam, understanding the rating criteria, and not downplaying symptoms. There's also advice on veteran can claim tinnitus as a disability with the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA. Here's what you need to know about claiming tinnitus. Eligibility. Tinnitus is one of the disabilities that the VA recognizes for service connection, especially if it can be linked to military service. Here's how you might qualify. Direct service connection. If you experience tinnitus while in service, or if there's evidence that your military service caused or aggravated your tinnitus, you can claim it. This might include exposure to loud noises, combat situations, or even non-combat related noise exposure like from machinery or aircraft. Presumptive service connection. For veterans who served in certain locations or during specific periods, like Gulf War veterans, there are presumptive conditions. While tinnitus isn't typically on this list, being in environments with high noise levels could still be argued as contributing to tinnitus. Claim process. Filing a claim. You would file a claim for tinnitus, like any other disability, using VA Form 21526EZ, Veterans Application for Compensation and/or Pension. Medical evidence. You'll need medical evidence of your tinnitus. This could be from VA medical records, private doctors, or audiologists. If you have a record of reporting tinnitus during your service, that's beneficial. Lay statements. While not medical evidence, statements from fellow service members or family about your tinnitus can support your claim. Rating. Tinnitus is rated differently from other disabilities. Standard rating. Tinnitus is generally rated at 10% disability, regardless of severity. This is because the VA considers tinnitus to have a uniform impact on all who suffer from it, affecting concentration, sleep, and emotional well-being. Exception. If you already have a service-connected hearing loss rated at 10% or more and you're claiming tinnitus, the VA might not grant an additional 10% for tinnitus, but could combine it into a single evaluation for auditory disabilities. C&P exam for tinnitus. If your claim goes to a compensation and pension C&P exam, the examiner might ask about the onset of your tinnitus, its frequency, and how it affects your daily life. Conduct an audiometric test, though this isn't always necessary for tinnitus alone. Tips for claiming. Document everything. Keep records of any instance where you reported tinnitus, whether in service or after. Be specific. When discussing with examiners or in your claim, mention how tinnitus impacts your life, like difficulty sleeping, concentrating, or communicating. Legal assistance. If you're unsure or if your claim is denied, consider seeking help from a veteran service officer, VSO, or a VA accredited attorney or agent. Public sentiment. From platforms like X, veterans often share experiences where tinnitus claims were straightforward if well documented, but also stories of initial denials due to lack of service connection evidence, emphasizing the importance of thorough documentation. In summary, yes, veterans can claim tinnitus as a disability with the VA, typically receiving a 10% disability rating if service connection is established. Proper documentation, understanding the process, and possibly seeking assistance can significantly improve the chances of a successful claim. Thank you for watching. Follow for more VeteranFocus.